Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment. And here we go.
This episode is not brought to you by Best Buy. They're a real piece of trash and we hate them.
The Great Owl Team.
This episode is sponsored by the new movie, Mountain Man. It's a man versus a mountain. Check it out on the Levels of Geek podcast.
And now your hosts of Levels of Geeks Live, Alex Figueroa and Nate.
Welcome everyone to a brand new episode of Levels of Geeks Live. I'm your host Alex Figueroa. My co-host is
Nate from Netflix Reviews.
All right, guys. So tonight is the night. Tonight we start our big event. But before we do, I gotta give some shout outs to all our Patreons out there. Starting off with Pablo LaFrosia. Thank you so much, Jonathan McCoy, Charles Woods, I'll Buy the Popcorn, Stephanie, Jay Manley, Becklish, Robert Makes the Cut, Kim Simmons, and of course Rev 4K. Thank you so much to supporting the channel. Now, tonight, like I said, tonight is actually a big show. Another one. We've been throwing a lot of big shows out here. Today, we're going to be doing the Battle of the Decades. And of course, this is it. We're here. I'm going to let Nate take over because tonight is going to be one of the fun shows kicking it off. So, Nate, take it away.
Yeah, so you guys already know we've been previewing this a little bit. I'm excited for this one. I told Alex before we went on, I was like, this is like, I wouldn't call it my baby, but I did a lot of work to behind the scenes on this one. I'm really it reminds me of back in my podcasting day. Now I do an action movie podcast, but my old podcast, we used to do these big topics and round table. Now the round table consists of me and Alex, but you guys in the chat are going to participate. You're going to give your 2 cents. So it's going to be a nice discussion, but we wanted to give you the how we came up with the list. So we're going to go over the criteria for the movies we came up with. Hopefully this helps with you guys understanding why the movies are, and you'll see as we go why these movies are. We won't call them the best of the decade. I will say the biggest. I think these are the biggest movies from each decade. I think you would agree with that, right?
Yeah.
Like, just in total. So I came up with a math equation. Did a lot of math. It took me hours per day per decade to do this because I had to go through so essentially I went to the top 50 highest grossing movies of each decade. Top 50. If it wasn't in the top 50, it wasn't making this list because how can you say something's the biggest movie if it wasn't even the top 50, right? From the top 50 highest grossing, I then combed through all of them, literally all 50. I assigned a point value to 5 criteria: total box office adjusted for inflation. So I had to get an inflation calculator and calculate every single box office for all these movies. And tonight, when we're presenting the numbers, it will all be adjusted for inflation. So like in the 70s, 30 million is not 30 million now. No. So you'll see. So I assigned point value for box office. I assigned point values for Oscar or Academy Award nominations. 1 point per nomination, 2 points for every win that the movie got. Okay. So it puts a little weight on critical acclaim as well. And then I assigned a point value for per 10% of Rotten Tomatoes critic score and audience score. So this is not just what do the critics say. This is what people are saying as well. What do the people think of the movie? The audience rating, critic rating, Academy Award nominations, Academy Award wins, and box office. I feel like with those 5, we accurately came up with the 10 biggest movies of each decade. And you'll see there's going to be some, we'll just do a couple out there now. There's going to be some, for example, today we're going to be doing the 70s. Yeah. You're not going to see Rocky. You're not going to see Alien. You're not going to see a lot of movies that people think were the biggest in the 70s were not maybe as big, like they didn't make as much money as you thought they did, or they didn't get as much critical acclaim as you thought they did. So me and Alex, we watched all these movies. Yeah. We are doing the work. So we watched all these. We're going to be discussing them. We're not reviewing full on, but we're going to give you numbers and we're going to play a little game for each movie. Yeah. We'll show you some stuff. You guys are going to have to guess what movie it is, and then we'll reveal. It's going to be great. But I just wanted to give you guys a background on how this works and how we came up with it. So you're not yelling at me later like, where's this movie? Where's this movie? Well, it didn't get enough points. That's the fact of the matter. and it is what it is.
Yeah, and also I would like to say is that this is how we distinguish ourselves from other live streams where me and Nate was talking about it. I know other live streams are all physical media, the movies, physically look at the covers and then they talk about it. We're trying to step away from that. We want to give people knowledge about the films. So and it's first time watches for me. I saw 6 brand new movies this weekend that's on this list that I never saw for this show, and it's gonna happen continuing down the road the more we do this. And I'm okay with this, or even leading up to our director's spotlight, because we gotta know what we're talking about. And that's the thing. We could talk about physical media all we want, but if you're just buying the movie just to buy it because that's the hottest thing of the week, and you don't watch the movies, you haven't seen the movies, and people ask you questions and you go, I didn't see it yet, you can look like a doofus named Rufus. So,
right.
But I would like to say is it was a long weekend. Me and my wife sat down, we watched all this stuff, and I enjoy it. So this show, like I said, Levels of Geeks now are going to become like an educational show going on forward. Each show live, we're going to try to give you guys our takes and talk about the history of films and who brought them on the screen. So with that said, let's have some fun. Nate, start off with some fun facts.
Real quick, to Triborough in the chat, he said you're going by numbers and accolades over fan favorites. Yes. You're not going to see a cult movie in here. A cult movie, while it has a cult following, is just that, a cult following. That means it's small. That means it's passionate but small. These are popular films that most of them, and you'll see, most of them would be considered like great movies. From what we watched, none of these in the top 10, whether you've seen them or if you like them or not, there are some of those movies that you can't really debate. Like, you can't say it's bad. It's more like you didn't like it, or maybe it's not your cup of tea. None of these are bad. And that's pretty much, well, I shouldn't say it's across all the decades. We'll see as we go on, but that's the thought process.
And one thing, Triborough, I would like to say is that we're trying to give you guys what film school will give you. They're not going to give you Aliens or all these crazy cult classic films under a microscope. They're going to give you like the ones that won Academy Awards, the big actors of the time. Not Sigourney Weaver. They're going to give you someone that's like won 3 Oscars or something like that. So we're trying to balance it off. Don't worry. You're going to get your fan favorites.
Yeah, this is not the deep cut like show. This is not like, oh, have you heard this secret movie that's really amazing? This is popular films across the decades, and then what at the end, well, we'll explain it all, but there'll be a battle. What decade did you guys think was the best as far as the top 10? So let's do some fun facts. I got some fun facts here for you guys. So this is across all the decades. So just some little hints and spoilers and a little bit of information. So I'm gonna go decade by decade and then a couple other cool fun facts. Now, number 1, the 1970s, which we're gonna cover tonight, is the only decade out of the 5 that we did that has a horror movie in the top 10. Spoiler alert. It's the only one with like a horror movie in the top 10. The 1980s, the only decade with a pure comedy in the top 10. Comedy, other decades, while it was big, it was never top 10 big. Guess what? In the 80s, a comedy is in the top 10. Think about that when you guys think about what's coming down the line. The 1990s, the only decade out of 5 with no superhero movie in the top 10. 70s, 80s, 2000s, 2010s, all. 90s, no superhero flicks. It was a different time back then in the 90s. The 2000s, the only decade without a Star Wars movie in the top 10. So, as you can see, Star Wars and superheroes, very popular among filmgoers and even critics and the Academy, because those things are weighted. No Star Wars movie, though, in the 2000s. So sorry to the prequel fans out there. Didn't make it. All right. And the 2010s, and this will be the most unsurprising fun fact. The 2010s, the only decade that is made up entirely of sequels and franchise films. Not a single original film in the whole 2010s. You guys will see. It is all sequels or something that's part of a franchise. Okay. And then a couple other little off ones. James Cameron, the only director with the number 1 film in 2 different decades when we're going through these decades. I don't know what that means about James Cameron. He makes very popular films. John Williams did the score for 15 of the movies across the 5 decades. and did a score for at least one movie in all 5 decades.
Oh, wow.
That's longevity right there.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about 50 years. He made a top, one of the top films he did the score for.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. And Steven Spielberg, he appears the most, more than any director on the list. 7 movies across the 5 decades. Steven Spielberg, he's he's both. He makes popular films that also do very well in a lot of ways. So it's going to be fun. Those are just some fun facts for you. A little bit of information. And that's all I got for now.
You ready? All right, let's time to
ready.
hit some time machine, baby. We're going back in time. Jimmy, how you doing, buddy? I hope your back is doing well. All right, guys,
Jimmy,
everyone
what's up?
out there, we are going into the time machine because we're heading back to the 70s. We're going to be jiving turkeys, baby. Are you
Let's do it.
ready?
Jiving turkeys.
The
Let's
jiving
go.
turkeys. All right, here we go, baby. Woo! Oh,
Oh, we time traveled.
yeah, we time traveled.
Back to the 70s.
Woo! All right, here we go. Some fun facts about the
hear that.
70s for you guys that don't know out there. Here we go. The presidents were Richard Nixon, who was famous for the Watergate scandal. Okay.
Yep.
We got Gerald Ford and Jimmy Carter was the presidents back in the 1970s. Right? Here we go. Some top songs were How Deep Is Your Love and Staying Alive by the Bee Gees. I Will Survive by Gloria Gaynor, and YMCA by the Village People, and Hot Stuff by Donna Summers were the top songs of the 70s.
The time of disco, baby. Gotta
Yep.
love some disco.
Here we go. What was the climate in 1970? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, people. The Vietnam War was ongoing, starting in 1955 to 1975. It was also a time of fighting for women, LGBTQ, and black women's black rights and equally. You didn't know that?
Oh,
There was the
pretty
hippie
good.
movement and increasing drug use. You know it.
Oh, yeah. I
You
know
know
that.
it.
Yep.
This is a good one. The movie rating system was just created in 1968, leading into a decade where movies would become more daring, real, and pushing times.
This makes a lot of
Restrictions?
sense.
Yeah, restriction on language, adult content, and violent eased up. All right. And then last but not least, here we go. You ready for this, Nate?
Yeah.
The first gaming console was Magnavox Odyssey in 1972. However, in 1978, we will see to the birth of the more popular Atari.
Oh,
You like that?
Atari was definitely very 70s. Man,
It's
Nintendo didn't
very-
come around until the 80s.
It is. All right, so you ready? All right, here we go. So those were the highlights of 1970. Some fun facts for you guys out there. But now it's time for go into Studio Geeky Now, baby. Here we go. Woo!
Take us to the studio. Take us to the studio.
Take it to the studio.
Hey, there we go. Monday Night Fever. Monday Night Fever.
Oh, woo!
Right. Isn't that funky,
Yeah.
funky stuff right
Donkey,
there?
Get donkey. Give me some of your money.
Robin J definitely been to some places like this.
I bet
I know
he
it.
did.
I know,
Oh.
Robin J. Shout out to y'all.
Oh,
Jay,
donkey.
tell us about
Get
the days of
funky.
disco.
Give me some of your money.
That's right. Soul Train.
Oh, yeah. Oh. All right, here we go.
Okay, so here's how this is going to work. Alex is going to show some stats for the movie. We're going to go from 10 to 1. Okay? He'll show you the stats. We want everyone in the chat to type in what they think that movie is. We'll give
No
you like
cheating.
a minute. No cheating. Don't Google. Just type in what you think it is. And then we will reveal the movie and we'll talk about it a little bit. And then we'll move on to 9, 8, 7, and you guys will keep guessing what you think it is. So that's how it's going to work. You'll see the stats. Type in the chat what you think it is. And then we'll reveal it after about a minute and a half.
All right, so here we go, guys. This is the first movie on the list. So this is number 10. Box office number of 172 million, 11 Academy Award nominations, 6 wins, including Best Picture. Rotten Tomato scores gives this movie 96% critics, 97% audience.
Ooh.
Name that movie.
Name that movie, and that's 172 in today's dollars, not
Yes.
when it came out. So
Don't cheat. Name that
don't
movie,
cheat. All right.
people.
Pop culture goes with Godfather.
Okay.
Good guess. Let's see what else we get. So as you can see, while you guys are guessing, look at this. Like the 10th movie on the list had 11 Academy Award nominations. It won Best Picture. It had six wins. Incredible. The audiences love it. Critics love it. And it made a lot of money. Now, there's movies, the higher we go, the money it gets crazy. It gets a lot higher than this.
Yeah.
This is actually the lowest box office of them. But okay, let's see what we got. Godfather, Cuckoo's Next, Godfather. And Charles Wood says, hello, levels
what's
of
up,
geeks.
Charles Woods? All right, so here we go, guys. The answer is not Godfather.
No, nobody got it, but you guys were close.
Godfather Part 2. Yes, so this movie won a lot.
First time watcher. You just watched it for the first time, right?
I saw this for the first time this week, and honestly, I thought it was better than the first. Long story, but I enjoyed it for what it was.
Yeah, this is one of those movies that always goes down in history as one of the movies that a lot of people do think is better than the first. It's as good or better. You will get people who like Part 1 better, and you'll get people who like 2 better. But The Godfather Part 2 is always in the discussion of best sequels. For me, I do like The Godfather Part 2 better. I like it better. I'm not saying it's better. I think they're equally good. Yeah. I enjoy the story of Part 2 better. I like the flashbacks. I think Robert De Niro is amazing. He, his performance. Like him too. Yeah, I mean, it's incredible. The whole thing is fantastic. But yeah, one of those movies that as good or better than the first one.
All right, here we go. So
see what the chat is saying. I love The Godfather Part 2. A lot of people say it's better. Kal-El, yep. Personally, one of my favorite sequels of all time. Robert liked Part 1 better. Cool. And Pop Coach says he almost guessed Godfather Part 2, but almost doesn't count. All right, and then Godfather Part 1 and Part 2 is just one long movie for him. Fair enough, like Kill Bill.
Yeah. All right, so here we go. Second movie, number 9. Here we go. Oh, Triborough says both classics, not so much with Part 3. I haven't seen 3. I might just do it just to finish it off.
Wait till we get to the 90s. That's when it came out. Just watch it as like a bonus movie.
Oh, okay. There we go. I'll do that. All right, so here we go. This is number 9. Number 9, box office numbers of $307 million, 9 Academy Award nominations, 5 wins, won the Big 5. 94% Rotten Tomato with critics, 96% audience. Name that movie.
By the way, in case anyone doesn't know what the Big 5 is, the Big 5, of course, Best Picture, Best Director, Best Screenplay, Best Actor, Best Actress. Those are called the Big 5. You win though. I think there's only 3 or 4 movies that have done it. This is one of them. So, and we're not giving you the year. That's too much. It's in the 70s. Yeah. Yes, let's see what we got here. All right, nobody's guessing. Nobody. They're all Googling. What's the Big 5? What's the Big 5? Okay, here we go. Rocky. All right, Jimmy gets Rocky. Network. Pop Culture 33. Okay, good guess. What we got here? I still need to watch the director's cut of The Godfather Part 3. Okay. Oh, Robert says The Exorcist. Okay, The Exorcist. Give you 10, 15 more seconds. Jaws. Good guess. Kal-El Daly coming through with Jaws. One more guess.
All right,
and then we'll
one more
reveal
guess.
it. Come on, guys. What you think? 9 nominations. Saturday Night Fever. You think Saturday Night Fever won the Big 5 at the Academy Awards? John Travolta won Best Actor?
All right, guys. So the winner.
Let's show them.
Yes. And
Nobody
the
got
movie is One Flew Over the Cuckoo Nest. Now, I seen this movie for the first time this weekend. Of course, this is one of the movies, and I loved it. I thought Jack Nicholson was phenomenal. Danny DeVito was amazing. Christopher Lloyd was amazing. My man Chucky was amazing. Brandon Dorff, he was great. I think the entire cast was great. The storyline was awesome. And this is a movie that I told Nate I will definitely get once it's a 4K release on it. Nate.
Yeah, I've never seen it either. This was a first time watch for me. It's one of those movies, like I have seen a lot of movies, but there's a few that slip through the cracks. This is one of those that kind of just slipped through the cracks for me. So when it got in the list, I was like, oh, I got to watch it. We got to watch these. Make sure we can even talk about them. Amazing. Yeah. Amazing film. Funny. Dramatic. Amazing performances. Clearly won for Best Actor and Best Actress. And Brad Dourif, voice of Chucky, nominated for Best Supporting Actor. He didn't win, and it was his first role, by the way, his first movie role. Little fun fact for you. So, I mean, what a cast. Yeah, Christopher Lloyd is in this.
Yeah.
Danny DeVito, like you said, Danny DeVito was my favorite. He was so funny, his facial expressions and everything. I mean, just amazing all around. Amazing movie. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah. Well, here's a hot take. Pop Culture 33 said, I hated One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest,
Ooh.
but need to revisit. It's okay. It's okay. Stephanie, hey, how you doing? She goes, I saw One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest first time last year, and I also really loved it. There you go. Cal says, this and The Shining is why Jack is ready for the Joker. Yeah,
I believe it.
with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
And he's right. He guessed Cuckoo's Nest on number 10. You were close. You were one off. But yeah, Milo, I think it's pronounced like Milos Forman is their director. Yes, Robert, thank you for the information. Yeah, I loved it. Amazing movie. And Tony, you've never heard of it? Now you have. Do your homework. Check it out. It's incredible.
Yeah, I think you will like this movie. You like weird shit. You're gonna like this movie.
And Harrison, surprised you never seen it. Definitely gotta watch it.
Harrison hasn't seen it. Oh, dude, this is so up. You guys will like this a lot.
You're gonna eat it up with a spoon.
All right, here we go. Next movie is box office $574 million, 4 Academy Award nominations, 1 win. Rotten Tomatoes gave this a 94%, critics 86% audience. Name that film.
Charles Wood says, Jack Nickelback is my favorite actor. He has great chemistry with Greg Kinnear in this one. Greg Kinnear, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. All right, let's see what we got here. We got Star Wars. Harrison's guessing Star Wars. Robert's guessing Jaws. Pop Culture 33 says Rocky. Jimmy going with Godfather 1. Robert now changes it to Star Wars, even though he said Jaws already. Tony saying Star Wars. Oh, we got a lot of Star Wars guesses on this one. We'll get one more, couple more. Okay, Triborough going with Star Wars. All right, good guesses, good guesses. Let's get one more guess, and then we reveal. I don't think anybody's gonna get it.
I don't think so.
Doesn't seem like it. Y'all are doing good guesses.
All right, here we go. You ready?
Black Widow. Kal-El Daly, you're gonna be disappointed when you find out what it is. All right, yeah, let's let them know what it is.
And the movie is Superman 1, the movie with Marlon Brando.
Cal, this was your time to shine.
Yeah, Cal, what is wrong with you, man? It's on your name. No, but look, what can
I'll
we
let you
say?
carry the weight on this one.
This movie is phenomenal. We're gonna again, fun fact: we are starting to tackle Superman, entire Superman line on the Action Movie Guys podcast. So if you guys have not listened to it, search on any of the platforms you listen to your favorite podcast, Action Movie Guys, because we're going to tackle every Superman movie ever made, starting off with Christopher Reeve, this movie right here, all the way up to Batman v Superman. Right? Mm-hmm. That's where we're gonna end it. So. Yeah, so this movie, I think it's awesome. I haven't seen this in a long time, so it's going to be pretty cool revisiting this. Nate, have you seen this movie?
I've seen it once. Now, I didn't want to rewatch it for this because I know we're about to watch it for the podcast.
Yeah.
But I've seen it once a while ago. From what I remember, I saw it when I was younger, so I probably didn't love it at the time. I'm really looking forward to seeing it again. I know John Williams' iconic score. That theme. There's one of those, hey, John Williams popping up for the first time on our list here. But look, people talk about superhero movies now. This was really the first big superhero movie. And wouldn't you know it, it's like the first OG big superhero in America. It's Superman. Gene Hackman, right? Richard Donner directing. John Williams score. Marlon Brando's in this. Great poster art. Everything.
Well, the cool thing about the Superman movie is that there's like a few versions of them, right? So you have the theater version, you got the extended cut, then you have the TV 3-hour cut that came out. And they came out with it. And I remember I was telling you, we're not reviewing the 3-hour cut because Nate doesn't have it. And I don't know if he could get it digitally, but I mean, it is what it is. To me, I enjoy the 3-hour cut, but the extended cut is awesome because you see more stuff. I'm not going to reveal it because, again, Nate hasn't seen it in a long time, so I don't want to spoil it for him. But I enjoy the extended cut and the 3-hour cut of Superman. I mean, anything with Christopher Reeve in The Man of Steel, I can eat it up.
Kal-El Daly says, I'm so sad and disappointed. I made that BS joke on this classic. He said Black Widow, shaking my head.
Yeah.
And then so Harrison asking you, Superman in the movie is a classic, but I actually prefer the sequel, and I love the Richard Donner cut. That's Tony movie.
I like Part 2. I love Part 2 with General Zod.
Yeah, Pop Culture says, I got to see this as a kid in the theater when they used to release movies in theaters only. No VHS. True that. Respect Superman, yeah, but I take 2 over 1. Also, Kal-El, another Superman 2 fan.
Yeah.
And there's like 6 cuts of the original one. That's no joke. So, yeah, look. Marlon Brando popping up twice. Jay, good observation. And this, think about it. People talk about superhero movies. This is the first one. 4 Academy Award nominations. So it's not like if you make a good movie, period, it gets both big success at the box office and critical acclaim, and this is a perfect example.
Yeah, and look at the number. 574. I know it's inflation, but look at that number for the first Superman movie to hit the screen. Not many movies like that nowadays will hit 574 unless it's a Marvel, but
that's adjusted for inflation. That's with way less movie theaters, right? Like now there's a movie theater every 2 miles. Mm-hmm. Way less theaters, no IMAX, no 3D, no nothing. Just pure movie theater, smaller amount of theaters, and it made $574 million. So
no, I agree with you. All right, here we go. You ready for the next one?
Yes.
All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Next one, box office, $408 million. 9 Academy Award nominations, 5 wins, including Best Picture. Rotten Tomatoes scores give this 87% critics, 86% audience. Name that film.
This is good. If anyone, besides number 1, if anyone gets like any of these bottom 5 or 6 right, you're going to win a digital code because it's not that easy. So far, nobody. Okay, we got Jaws. Tony Movie Chappie guessing Jaws. Okay, not a bad guess at all. Let's see what else we got. Think of them 70's movies. Superman was a movement. You remember the marketing. See a man fly. That's right. See him fly into the disco. The studio Geeky 9. He's going Rocky. Okay, another Rocky guess. We got Jaws, we got Rocky.
This is
Close
the new,
Encounters. Jimmy says Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Good guess.
This is the slogan for the night, ladies and gentlemen. It's never too late to educate.
That's right. Oh, man. All right, Jay guessing The Sting.
Oh,
good guess. God. Okay, Kal-El also going with Rocky.
All right, here we go.
All right, one more guess here. Rocky. Okay, we got a lot of guesses for Rocky. One right. Close Encounters and one The Sting. Let's see what it is. Tell him, Al, what is it?
And the winner is Kramer versus Kramer.
Saw it coming.
Meryl
Nobody
Streep
saw it coming.
And Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah.
They're a couple.
Yep.
And actually, look, I saw this in another movie I saw this weekend. It's actually really good. I like this movie. You guys might like it. You might enjoy it. It's very drama, some heavy drama.
Yeah.
Some comedy there, little comedy here and there, but It's a very, very, very dramatic movie. It's a very good storyline, very good. Dustin Hoffman and Meryl Streep are amazing in this movie. So I recommend it. I will get it on Blu-ray. Neat.
Yeah, Dustin Hoffman won Best Actor. That's one of the 5 Academy Awards that it won. Of course, it won Best Picture. Look, not everyone's cup of tea as far as genre, right? This is a drama. This is a pure drama. Yeah, there is a little bit of humor. It's not a comedy by any means. It is a drama. It's very well made, well acted. I guess the best thing I could compare it to is something I told Alex before, like Marriage Story was a recent movie that's like this, or there's an HBO show going called Scenes from a Marriage that's similar. Like, it is not like easy subject matter, but I like the movie. It doesn't really pick sides. It presents the story, and you kind of just make your, and I feel like I'm not married, but as a married people might get a little more out of this because it's, they're in a situation where they're with another person. They're spending their life with that person. If you've been divorced, if you've not been divorced, it's very interesting. It's very good. And, it's funny that a movie like this in the 70s could be in the top, as far as box office. Look, you think a movie like this is going to make $408 million now? Not at all. Maybe $40 million. There's no way. And yeah, it's a very, very good movie. I would definitely, if you've never seen it or heard of it, I would watch it.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. All right, here we go. Next movie on the list. Keep it rolling. This is number 6.
Jose, what's up, Jose? Welcome.
Box office numbers is $500 And I hope.
Oof.
Let me
We
see.
get
if
into
I
the
get
big.
this
We
right.
get into the big boys now.
Let me see. I just want to get it right. I didn't screw it up. Okay, I did get it right. Okay. 535 million, 9 Academy Awards nominations, 2 wins, Rotten Tomatoes, 94% critics, 85% audience. Name that film.
Pop culture said Rocky. He said he's going with Rocky until it's right.
What's up, Jose?
Pop culture. I'm going to give you one special hint that I think you missed at the top of the show. Rocky's not in the top 10. So you can stop guessing it. Don't guess it again. You will never be right. Rocky did not make the top 10 most biggest movies of the 80s. So let's see what we got here.
Charles Woods got it.
Close Encounters?
Yeah.
Oh, then show him. He got it.
Charles Woods got it.
Close Encounters of the
Encounters.
Third Kind, the first Spielberg movie.
So
on
I
the list.
saw this movie a long time ago. I purchased it in 4K. I saw the director's cut. I think that comes with the director's cut or something like that. It comes with like 20,000 versions of it. It was okay. It was okay. It wasn't as crazy for me. I thought it was a decent film. I enjoyed it for what it was. But I mean, other than that, the ending didn't work for me. But
Yeah. I actually saw this about, I don't know if it was 2 years ago or 3 years ago in the theater. They did a re-release. I went to the theater and saw it. I don't love this movie. I like it. Spielberg being my favorite director, I tend to watch his movies with a little more leniency, like really try to see. And even still, this is not my favorite of his movies, but clearly it's extremely well made. It's Richard Dreyfuss is really good in it as in the lead. I love the score is great, by the way. A low-key John Williams score that's like under the radar. But 9 Academy Award nominations, I mean, this was a critical hit and clearly huge at the box office. Spielberg and sci-fi is like peanut butter and jelly to me. It's just, he does it well. He knows what he's doing. He loves them aliens and he loves that sci-fi. So it's pretty good.
Hey. All right.
And Charles Woods got one. I can't believe someone finally got one.
Yeah, that was really good. Really good. All right, here we go. You ready for the next one?
I agree. Let's see it.
All right, here we go. Well, Tony Moon Chappie says, I agree, Alex. I didn't really care for Close Encounters when I first saw it, but definitely will give it another watch. Yeah. All right, here we go. Next movie. Box office, 556 million. 10 Academy Award nominations, 3 wins. Rotten Tomato scores give this 83% critics, 87% audience. Name that film.
So, just some information here. So far, this is the lowest of the critic score, but it's still high, 83. But 10 Academy Award nominations, couple of wins, big time money, $556 million. Let's see what we got here. Godfather 1. Jimmy says Godfather 1. Okay, good guess. Jaws from Tony Movie Chappie. All right, good guess. The French Connection. That's an outside the box. Oh, some Gene Hackman. Fiddler on the Roof. Says Harrison going with a musical. Good guess. Not Rocky. That's correct. You got that right. Kal-El says The Exorcist.
Yep. It's
Ding,
The
ding, 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 ding.
There you go.
You got it. Kal-El Daily, you got it. It is The Exorcist.
The Exorcist was a box office of 556 million, which is phenomenal for a 70s movie it's crazy. Now, when I first saw this movie, it scared the bejesus out of me. Then I saw it again. Now, it still scares the bejesus out of me, and my wife puts it on because she knows it scares the crap out of me. But other than that, solid horror movie.
I mean, I would say better than solid, probably. I mean, this is elite horror. This is, if you are a horror fan, and I'm not saying you have to love The Exorcist if you love horror. You have to have seen it, to me. It's one of those movies, I think every genre has movies that are like must see to get that fan card. And this is one of them for horror. It's an all-time great. Clearly, 10 what horror movie ever gets 10 Academy Award nominations?
Yep.
Very few. The Exorcist, Silence of the Lambs, if you count that, and that's about it. I mean, horror movies don't get this kind of critical love. Tons of people went to see it. My grandma told me a story that she went to see it, watched half, went to the bathroom, something scared her in there, she left. She went home. She doesn't even know how the movie ends. Rest in peace, my grandma. She never found out the ending. She don't even know how it ended. So it scared a lot of people, especially at the time. I would imagine this was very horrifying. I love it. It's a classic.
There you have it.
William Friedkin. director.
Freaking William. All right. Here we
Freaking
go.
William.
Tony Muchapi says, I am a diehard horror fan.
And he says, I still need to see. Well, you don't have your horror card yet. Tony, till you see The Exorcist, no card.
Yeah, you're not a diehard.
You're up and coming.
You haven't seen this movie. Come on, you can call yourself a diehard.
Yeah, what are you waiting for?
You're middleweight. All right.
Light heavyweight.
Light heavyweight. All right, here we go. The next one. We're going up there. The money going up there. All right, here we go.
What number are we at? 4?
We up to number 4. Box office,
Ooh.
$691 million, 4 Academy Award nominations, 3 wins. Oh, Rotten Tomatoes gave this puppy 98% critics, 90% audience scores. Name that movie.
Oh my gosh. 691 million. This is an insane hit. So we get The Sting.
Oh, Jimmy got it.
Jimmy with Jaws.
Jimmy got it.
You guys know.
Jimmy got it. He cheated. He looked at Rotten Tomatoes. He's like, let me look those numbers up. All right. So
no, he got it too quick. He got it.
He got it. All right. So, yeah. So, Jaws. I mean, come on. There's nothing you can say with Jaws. I mean, Jaws is one of the best shark movie ever put on screen. And because of that damn movie, I don't even go into water. So, it's just.
It's on your shirt. And this is, of
shirt.
course, the second Spielberg movie. Already he had 2 in the 70s. This was his first big hit. And what a hit it was. This is the movie that created the term summer blockbuster, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look at the box office. It made an insane amount of money. Some people consider it a horror film. I say more like a thriller, but if you do, then that means the 70s had 2 horror films in the top 10. It's scary. People were scared. Okay, I guess if you look at it this way, is this scary? Did it have an effect on them? Yes. They didn't want to go to the water no more. They were scared of getting eaten by sharks. It looks amazing in 4K. If you guys don't have that 4K yet, you got to get it. It's an all-time classic.
I think it's more of a suspense movie, though. Like,
Me
highly
too.
suspense.
I count it more like a thriller.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
Yeah.
But if someone came up to me and said, I consider it a horror, I wouldn't argue with them.
No,
I wouldn't tell them they're wrong.
Well, it's a horror
and-
character.
Yeah.
You're going to get scared anyway. But
And we got John Williams on the list for the 3rd time already. So he's doing his work back in the 70s. Let's see what everybody's saying. Robert says he also got it. Yeah, but Robert, you already knew the list.
He knows the list.
Kal-El Deli, the one time I didn't say Jaws, it's Jaws. That's how it works. Best shark movie ever, Tony. Stephanie says Jaws is one of my favorite movies. Awesome.
Oh.
Love it. Jaws changed movies forever. You ain't wrong.
Did.
Cal says it is a horror movie. I don't argue with you. I say, okay. Tony says, too bad the sequels didn't live up to, that rare. March Movie Madness, here I come for Jimmy because he got it right. He's ready for the trivia tournament. Kal-El says, you lied to us. There are 2 horror movies on the list, I guess.
How dare
Or you'd say 1.5. Tony movies, Jaws 3D. Okay, no more Jaws sequels. Robert says, I know. Charles Ward's very influential movie, Jaws was. Without it, we would have never have gotten The Meg or Sharknado.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's true. You are right. And the Jaws theme is still one of the most iconic movie themes ever. Absolutely. You hear that music, you know what it is. You know what? Everybody knows what it is.
Dum-dum. But all right, here we go. The next movie. Now, we're hitting top 3 now.
Top 3,
This
baby.
is the Bacon of Clay Aiken. All right, here we go.
Bacon of Clay Aiken.
All right, here we go. Box office number for number 3 is $576 million, 10 Academy Award nominations, 3 wins, including Best Picture. Rotten Tomatoes scores give this a 97% critics, 98% audience. Name that movie.
Sounds pretty beloved. 97 and 98, 10 Oscar noms, $576 million. What y'all got? Godfather.
Pop
Godfather.
Culture 33 got it.
Pop Culture got it first. Finally,
Yep,
he's
Pop
on the
Culture.
board.
There you go. He got it.
Godfather.
The Godfather. So this is another movie I saw this back to back with Godfather Part Two. It was very lengthy. Like I told Nate, I should have just brought a wedding gift because man, I was in that wedding for like 40 minutes. That beginning was it. I was like, Jesus, we really, literally at a wedding. But yeah. It's a good movie, very influential. I can see why film critics love this movie. I mean, Marlon Brando, to me, sounds like he has marbles in his mouth, so I had to put subtitles, so I didn't know what the hell he was saying. I don't know. I gave him a refuse. Some crap. He said, I gave him an offer. He couldn't refuse. And
Yeah. I make him an offer he can't refuse. That's
and
that guy wanted to be in the movie.
what was he? He was Don Cannoli. What was his name?
Don Cannoli. That's right. Don
That
Cannoli.
That was his name?
No, it's not Cannoli. It's Corleone.
Calzone?
No, nope.
So what was his name?
Someone help him. Someone in the chat help him. Don Cannoli. Don Calzone.
Oh,
There you go. Harrison helping you out there.
Don Corleone.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
Johnny Fontaine. Yeah, he wanted to be in the movie. Johnny Fontaine. They put the horse's head. Look,
That was good.
I love The Godfather. I love it. It is truly an epic in every sense of the word. It's very long. Part 2 is longer, but it's long, but it's we were talking in our Patreon chat and Jay said it perfect. It's long but holds the attention, in my opinion.
That's a good way to
Not
say it.
boring. A movie could be long as it's not boring. And it's not boring. You're interested the whole time. The family dynamic. The funny thing, 10 Academy Award nominations. Marlon Brando won, but declined the award. And
How?
3.
Why?
He said he didn't want it. He was protesting or something. There's a whole story about it. I don't remember, but he declined it. But he won. And 3 of the supporting actors were nominated for supporting actor in one Oscars. That's rare. You had James Caan was nominated. Robert Duvall was nominated. And of course, Al Pacino, all nominated for Best Supporting Actor. All great in this movie. Every single one of them. You had young Diane Keaton, Talia Shire. What a cast.
Yeah.
Adrian, everybody's guessing Rocky. She ain't gonna make it for Rocky, but
beautiful.
she was in it. Yeah,
She was beautiful. When the guy
Godfather.
was hitting her with the belt, I was like, man, if Rocky was here, he would whoop that ass. All right, so Stephanie said, hot take, it's boring. Look,
That is a hot
you're,
take.
You're not the only one. I think my
It's
wife
not
said
for
no, she
everybody.
didn't like it. Yeah, my wife
Yeah.
didn't like it either. She thought that was boring.
But it's one of those movies where I can see people saying that. You really, if you love like filmmaking and the craft, and it's no debate, it's one of the best. You can't argue it. But is it for everyone's taste as far as like to sit down and enjoy? No, definitely not. And I could definitely see that perspective.
Yeah, Tony Muchavi says, let's not forget the horse's head scene in the bed. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was the best.
That was really good. All right, here we go. Number 2. Are you ready?
People are gonna get 2 and 1. I think
Yeah,
we're getting down to the nitty gritty.
Yeah, it should be easy now. All right, here we go. Box office numbers: $496 million, 10 Academy Award nominations, 7 wins, including Best Picture. Rotten Tomato gave it a 94% critics, 95% audience. Name that film.
7. I think this is the most Oscar wins for a movie in the top 10 here. 10 nominations, 7 wins, almost $500 million. Let's see, we got Star Wars. Robert says The Sting.
Which,
Robert!
yeah, Robert got it right.
Robert, I told y'all
knew it.
not to guess, and he still guessed. Now we're gonna mute him next week. Or you know what? We're not telling him the list no more.
They're telling
This is
nobody.
guess the list.
You just screw the
Jimmy,
bad
Jimmy,
apple.
you got it right. It's The Sting.
There you go.
Yeah,
Jimmy got it.
Jimmy got it.
Jimmy got it. All right, so this movie I saw for the first time this weekend. It's a great movie. It's a con artist movie. Two guys, they're con artists, like cards. I liked it. I thought it was really fun. I love that whole 1930s era. I was telling Nate, the noir stuff is me. When it comes to mafia, like The Godfather, that is not my bread and butter. But I do like the noir stuff, and that is pretty cool. It's really good. Robert Redford was really good. Paul Newman, this is the first movie I think I've seen with Paul Newman in it, to be honest with you. I don't think I remember another one. Is Ocean's 11 he was in it? I know it's Frank
by the way,
Sinatra.
my bad. Tony Movie Chappie guessed The Sting before Jimmy.
Okay.
This was Paul Newman, Robert Redford.
Was he in Ocean's 11, the original, with Frank Sinatra and Sammy
Paul
Davis
Newman?
Jr.? Yeah.
I don't think so.
Anyway,
I don't know.
so this is my first
never
movie
seen
with
it.
Paul Newman, so to be honest with you.
Oh.
Oh, you would like that one, the original.
Paul Newman, an absolute legend. Now, yes, this was a second collaboration between Paul Newman and Robert Redford, of course, the first being Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, if you've ever seen that.
No.
Another good movie. I like this one better than that movie. That's kind of like a Western. And it's good. It's really good. This one I loved. I loved The Sting. It was like funny. I love a good caper. I love a good setup. And of course, What's this guy's name? The guy from Jaws is in this. The guy on the boat.
Oh, Robert
Quint.
Shaw.
Robert Shaw, amazing in this movie. He's like, oh, I hope they get him. I hope they get him. Robert Redford. You know, he's a guy who I haven't seen a ton of his old movies, but I really liked him in this. But Paul Newman's the man. If you want to see another great Paul Newman movie where he's more, because he's in this quite a bit, but this is really Robert Redford's show, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The Hustler. Watch The Hustler. It's black and white. Paul Newman, amazing film. Jackie Gleason is in it. It is so good. But yeah, this was a first time watch for me, and I totally loved it. I thought it was great.
Yeah, no, I agree. This was a great movie. All right, Robert makes the cut. Says, "Oh, I'll quit." He started laughing.
I'll be
Jay
quiet.
Manley says, "The Color of Money." Really old movie says Paul Newman isn't in Ocean's 11.
There you go.
Okay,
So
I
you've
was
never
just
seen him.
guessing. Don't shoot the messenger here. It had
No,
a
you're
lot
good.
of great actors in that one. Dean Martin was in it. I know Dean Martin. I think Dean Martin was in that movie.
Yeah.
I
The
think
Color
he
of
was.
Money. The Color of Money is a sequel to The Hustler, directed by Martin Scorsese, and I think Tom Cruise is in that. It's not as good as The Hustler. The Hustler is better.
Okay.
So if you want to see a good classic Paul Newman where he really is like shines, I recommend The Hustler. That's my pick. That's Nate's pick if you want one.
Okay.
All right, let's go to number one. This one is the biggest
big
movie of the
one.
1970s.
This is the hot tomatoes. All right, here we go. Box office $1.1 billion, 10 Academy Award nominations, 6 wins, 92% Rotten Tomato scores for critics, and 96% audience. Name that movie. Everyone guessed it, of course. It wasn't that hard.
1 billion in the 70s.
Yeah,
It's
Star
a billion.
Wars.
Goodness.
I mean,
When I was doing the research for this junk was in the theater for 6 months. 6 months. That never happens anymore, obviously.
No.
I think that stopped around like Titanic time. But 6 months, and it was number one for it was number one, then it lost the number one spot, and then it gained it back, and it held it for like weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, and it was in the box office for 6 months. This is a phenomenon. I think we can all agree.
It was something like a phenomenon, like LL Cool J song.
LL said it, and this is what he was talking about when he
Yeah.
said that song. Look, clearly created one of, if not the biggest franchise, especially sci-fi. Put George Lucas on the map. Another John Williams score, his 4th in this list of the 70s. It launched the career of a lot of people. Really, I mean, Harrison Ford, he was in things, but this was what put him on the map. Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher and Darth Vader. This was his first big movie, Darth Vader. But Star Wars it's still huge now. Alex, I know we're not talking about all of them, but how do you just feel about the first original Star Wars film?
The New Hope?
Yeah.
I liked it. I'm more. I see. The thing is, when I grew up, Return of the Jedi was my movie, because as a kid, that one had all they had the Ewoks and the big battle. I know a lot of people do the Empire Strikes Back. That's the big one. For me, it's Return of the Jedi, but this one was actually a really good pilot. If you really want to think about it, like in terms of TV show, it was very good. It was ahead of its time in terms of storytelling. You could tell. George Lucas, for whatever reason, people could knock him all he wants, but he is one of the best. What's that word? Like
Storytellers. He's a great storyteller.
Yeah.
He comes up with a lot of great ideas.
Yeah.
And this is no different. This created worlds and galaxies. Look, this is not my favorite Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
But it's one of the movies that, it's important. It's an important film. And I know at the time, like people, like Jimmy said, he saw it at the theater and it was standing room only. I believe it. They were selling this thing out every theater, every showing. And yeah, it's a classic. Stephanie says, another hot take, I don't like Star Wars. It's boring. Well, Stephanie, and then Harrison says, that's a very hot take. That's a super hot take. Again, if you don't like these kind of movies, I get it. Not every movie is for everybody, obviously. So, but yeah, it's not my favorite Star Wars, but I do enjoy it. I could easily watch it. I throw this thing on. I'm never bored with it.
I mean, that's a separate thing because that's another thing we never hit on this channel is Star Wars in terms of films like 1 through 9.
Yeah.
And Star
One day.
Trek, which we never even touched the Star Treks in this show. Lives, and that's something we could tackle along down the future. We still have months to go, but we can maybe come up with like a month of Star Wars. We just break them each 3 trilogies in each other week. We just break it all down with you guys. But
yeah,
in terms of the 70s, now guys, like we said before, I'm gonna put the list up again towards the ending of the whole battle. You guys get to choose which decade had the best films from 1 to 10 against the other one. So you're gonna pick which one is the best. I'm gonna head back to reality to present time now.
And we didn't show them the one graphic, but in total, just so you guys know, in total, those 10 movies, 87 Academy Award nominations between the 10, 41 Academy Award wins. Obviously, big numbers. Now, as we go through this, you guys are gonna see the box office starts getting, the movies start leaning box office because then they start making then we get to like the future where it's like 2 billion, 1.8 billion, and that holds more weight because it made so much money. It was such a massive hit. But one thing me and Alex were kind of discussing is I think the 70s, just to sum it up, I think, and this is me, we're not voting. Me and Alex are not voting. This is, you guys are going to pick. I don't think pound for pound, there's a decade like it that we're going to cover because you had only Godfather 2 is the only sequel in there. And it barely made it. Like, it was just ahead of, I don't know if it was like one of those, not Rocky, but I think Alien or one of those movies almost made it to 10. But you got such a diverse range of movies in that list. We had The Sting is like a comedic kind of caper. You got mafia movies, space movies, a horror demonic possession movie, a horror shark movie, a drama about divorce, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, like a comedy drama, like so diverse. And I think it says a lot of what people used to go to the theater to see. It wasn't just about spectacle. They quality, well-made films with great actors. Look at the actors in all those movies we covered. It's like some of the greatest actors of all time. And it's not to say it's not going to keep going because the rest of the list is full of those as well. Yeah. But I just think it's interesting, the diversity of the 70s and how critically acclaimed movies were also the heavy hitters at the box office. That does flip over time. It's not as like 98, 97 reviews, audience as well, tons of Academy Awards. So I think it's a very strong decade, top to bottom.
Yeah, look, I kind of agree. I mean, besides the Star Wars, if you look at the lead characters and actresses of all those 1 through, I'm taking Star Wars out, but if you look at 2 to 10, the lead actors and actresses, to me, is stronger than any of the from the 80s to 2010s. I mean, I bet you if you add all how many nominations those actors and actresses got between all of those, there's no way. I mean, Meryl Streep got like 30 alone. So, yeah, I mean, Dustin Hoffman, Jack Nicholson,
Marlon Brando, Jack Nicholson, Dustin Hoffman, Meryl Streep, Robert Redford, Paul Newman. Like, these are like iconic, legendary type actors. Just from across Harrison Ford, he became that. He's in Star Wars. He became that. So, yeah, incredible. And filmmakers: Francis Ford Coppola, George Lucas, Steven Spielberg. This is like heavyweights.
Yeah, look, again, please don't shoot the messenger. We came up with a mathematical equation here. We came up with all the research. We actually saw all the movies that were on the list that we did not see. So we could give you guys and present you guys all these top 10s where. Again, hopefully you guys learned something.
And just to the chat, Cal El Deli says it's Academy Award favorites, not box office favorites. Not true. Box office, Rocky didn't make as much money as you guys probably think it made. Yeah. Rocky was in the top 50, but it didn't have the reviews weren't as amazing as these other movies. It didn't make as much money as a lot of these other movies, and it's a combination of all. So Academy Awards is not weighted over the other ones. As a matter of fact, the Academy Award points are less than the box office and the audience score. So not necessarily true, Cal El Daly. It's not just Academy Award favorites. Now that factors in, because look at Superman only had 4 nominations. Rocky had more than that, but it still didn't just didn't make the cut. There's a lot of great movies that didn't make the cut. That's what happens when you do a top 10. When you have 10 years worth of movies, you can only pick 10. They can't all get in.
Yeah.
But I'd love to see in chat before we go, like, what are your guys' favorite 70s movie? Whether we covered it or if we didn't cover. Clearly, Rocky is a beloved
Yeah, it looks like
70s
everyone wants
movie.
Rocky. But yeah, just put your favorite 70 movies down there. We'll get to them while we talk.
Ooh, Taxi Driver. Great.
Yeah, next week we're tackling the 80s. So we're gonna take our time machine. We're heading right down to the 80s. This whole show is gonna turn into the 80s. So we're gonna have fun with that. We have the 10 movies already for the 80s. So we're gonna have fun with the 80s. So the next week is the 80s battle of the decades. Jimmy says Alien.
Alien, great. Kal-El said Superman. I know it didn't have that many. Are you trying to anger me and trigger my heat vision? No, I'm just trying to make a point that Academy is not favored over the other stuff. It's all worked out. Alien is a great movie. Dirty Harry
is a good one.
Some great movies. Taxi Driver. Funny. I got another fun fact for you. This should be interesting. Martin Scorsese does not have a movie in the top 10 in any of the decades.
Oh my God.
You know why?
Because he's going to come after us.
No, that's because none of y'all people that were there and born didn't go see it enough for the box office. His movies didn't make money like that. They got critically acclaimed, but nobody there. This is big, popular overall in total. So no Scorsese. I was shocked because he's one of my favorite directors. But
all right. Really old movies says my number 2 and 1 were The Godfather and Star Wars, but my number 3 is Young Frankenstein. We can't forget Young Frankenstein.
Great movie.
Great, it's a funny movie. Pop Culture 33 said Aliens, Dog Day Afternoon.
Dog Day Afternoon. Yeah.
Blazing Saddles.
Great.
Jimmy
All
says
great.
Caveman, which I put in my top 10 episode.
I never even heard of that movie.
What the hell's Caveman?
Jimmy always comes through with a movie that I don't expect. Either I never heard of it or I don't know. Charles Wood says Ben. Isn't that with the rat?
Yeah.
Isn't that the Michael Jackson song?
Yeah. You and me together.
Ben. Mean Streets. Okay, we got another Scorsese.
Tony Movie Chappie says, man, that just sucks. This is why Martin Scorsese was mad when The Irishman was on Netflix.
I mean, he can't be mad about it. He signed the deal with it. They financed the movie for him. I think he was mad that no studio wanted to give him the budget, and you could see why. His movies don't. The Departed, I think, made a lot for him, and Shutter Island, maybe some of his DiCaprio movies.
Goodfellas in it?
Goodfellas was like an Academy Award, and reviews were great. But when you get to the 90s and you see how much money those movies were making, it just didn't make that kind of money. You know, that's one of those that I feel like over time people find those movies and then they get a bigger following. But when they were released, Pulp Fiction, everyone's going to get mad. Pulp Fiction's not in it, but Pulp Fiction didn't even make $100 million. So, you know, people should have went to see it more if they loved it so much.
And that's the thing, right? Like, a lot of people complain, like, oh, why is these movies? Well, first of all, it's a cult classic movie because no one went to see it in the theater, and it got heat after the theater when people go, oh, wow, this is really a good movie when they pick it up on, like, VHS.
Or after it wins 5 Oscars, and then it was like, wow, I didn't see that. Now I need to see it. And then they all love it. It's interesting. That's why I love film. It's when people discover it is not always when it comes out, you know?
Yeah, I still haven't seen Parasite. So
we just watched One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and it's been out for 50 years, and we just watched it now, and look, we loved it. It's just how it happens.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, Cal Daly says Goodfellas and Casino is a
travesty.
It's a huge VHS.
Well, we're not counting So if I also added in home video sales, this would have taken me 9 months to try and compile the list.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, the Pop Culture 33 said, will rental play a factor in
no,
the numbers?
No rentals. You needed to go to the theater to see it. Support the movies when they're out in the theater. This was before the whole physical media fire stick boom. This was when you had to go to the movies to watch movies, mostly.
Yeah.
I knew this was going to happen, and I love it. I welcome the discussion. The Outlaw Josie Wales. That's one of Robert's favorite. Yeah.
That's the whole point of the discussion. So, I mean, look, you guys had a great list. You guys don't have to like our list.
Well, I don't think they don't like ours. I just think, everyone wishes like one of their movies that they loved.
Yeah.
Not, being on the list. And I get it. I was when I made the list, I was like, Alien got to be on. I love Alien. It's one of my favorite 70s movie. And when Kramer versus Kramer, and I've never even seen that, was ahead of Alien, I was like, what the crap? And then I watched it, and I was like, this is a great movie. It's like one of those things of, I think so too, like people don't see these and then you watch them and you're like, well, I now understand why so many people loved it.
Well, they're gonna hate the 80s because there ain't a lot of the movies that they think is gonna be on that list. Is gonna be on that list.
I think that, yeah, that's true. I do think that people are gonna like the 80s list though. The 80s, spoiler alert, is that's a lot of popcorn movies though on that thing. So I think you might be right, but I think there's a lot of fan favorites on it, just not all of them. Kal-El says Goodfellas and Casino not making big money is a travesty. LOL. But those movies were big, but they were, but not on the level of what's on there. But thank you. Deliverance, you got a pretty mouth. Jimmy loves Deliverance.
He does.
You got a pretty mouth. Laserdisc rentals. No, The Muppet Movie is another good 70s movie. The Muppet Movie was in the top 50, by the way. Billy Jack, great work, guys. Walking Tall. The 80s is the best. Yeah. All right, Robert, we'll see. Let's hope Predator's on the list. Well, I don't know. You're going to find out next week. Robert, if you're old enough to remember Casino and Goodfellas VHS was everywhere, dude. Oh, yeah. Robert's old enough to remember that. He was at the disco.
He pre-ordered it.
He pre-ordered the VHS for both of those. Robert been pre-ordering movies since 1971. So he knows, Cal. Trust me.
He knows.
Hey, Nate, what's the shark movie that came out in the 70s? Oh, Tintorera, the tiger shark. Remember that Blu-ray I had when we did our...
that was horrible.
Tintorera. Yeah,
Which
Tony.
You said you loved it.
It's so good. It's bad. It's really bad, but it's so good. Yeah, Robert, he said I was there. So, yeah, that's our list. Thank you. And be ready for next week. It's the same thing. Same criteria was used for all the decades. And the 80s is full of a lot of, you're going to have heard of all those. I don't think there's a movie in there that is going to be like the 70s where the whole chat is like, I've never seen it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe one.
Maybe.
The one that I haven't seen. Maybe.
I think so. Maybe. Yeah. But, okay, guys, so next week we're doing the 80s. The following week is the 90s, 2000s. Then once it hits March, we're going to pause the Decades Battle to go to the battle of the movies.
March Movie Madness Tournament.
Yes, that's going to be kicking up. And then we're going to continue. Once that tournament is done, we're going to continue our battle with the 2000s, 2010. And then the last show of that battle is going to be the wrap-up show where you guys will pick who wins the battle of the decades. So again, guys, next week is the 80s, so we'll have fun with that. We're going to have music from the 80s. We're going to have 80s graphics. I might even have a flock of Eagles hairdo by next week. Yeah, that would be so fun.
And, I'm looking at the 80s list now. You might be right.
People are going to be pissed.
Some people are going to be mad, but I mean...
Oh, the people are going to be tight. They're going to be pissed.
I don't know what they want from me. There's no perfect science to this. We had to do what we could do.
This is year one of this damn battle,
what do you want, man. If I could pick 100 movies from each decade, I'll pick 100. I can only pick 10. I had to come up with an equation.
Yeah, man. That's how it rolls, right? All right, guys. So, again, next week we're going to have some fun. We're going to be back at the 80s, Mondays, 9 p.m. Eastern. Podcast this week will be dropping... What was the next episode? Today I totally forgot, was Age of Extinction Transformers.
Transformers?
Yeah, we did Age of Extinction, came out today. Tomorrow, I got to rush them out. Tomorrow is going to be the one after that. What was the after Age of Extinction?
Four Brothers?
Four Brothers.
Yeah.
The Marky Mark, that's when we ending it. So Four Brothers, Transformers, that came out today. Four Brothers.
And we have a special podcast with Jay.
Yeah, that was Sicario. We broke down Sicario.
We reviewed Sicario. And then tomorrow, if you follow the podcast, tomorrow, me and Alex will be reviewing 3 movies. Transformers, The Last Night, Bumblebee as the bonus episode. It's not part of the franchise, but it's not. So Bumblebee. And then we are starting a new month in honor of Black History Month, February, kicking it off with, just one of the GOATs, maybe, Denzel, Equalizer. We're going to be reviewing that. So it's going to be a good month.
Yeah, and then, of course, I'm going to start putting the videos up on the channel also. This week's unboxing, just to let you guys know, is going to be the Ghostbusters collection. It's going to be the newest unboxing on the channel. Just to let you guys know, I'll be getting it on Wednesday. So that's
a good unboxing because that's the prize for the March Movie Madness tournament.
Yep. So you guys get to see who's going to be winning that big box on March. So
maybe Jimmy. He was on fire tonight.
Yeah, he was.
Might be Jimmy. He's ready to go.
or Stephanie, because she'd be like, I don't know.
Or me. That's
Or
right. I'm
you.
entering this year. You guys better watch out. I gave
there
y'all a
you
break
go.
last year, but I'm playing this year.
I don't like that. All right.
It's a good impression.
Star Wars
boring.
is boring. It's boring. I don't like the light thingy. You know the light thingy?
The light thingy. The
Yeah, the
lights.
light
Yeah, the
thingy.
light thingy.
What you call that? Oh, the light thingy.
She said, I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
That is
She
definitely.
might win. She's gonna trick
She's
everybody.
gonna
and
win. She's
End up
gonna
winning.
win. She's gonna be like, let me think.
I can't wait.
Oh, this is
Can't
gonna
wait.
be so great with you guys. All right, so the opening up for that is gonna be in the middle of February because me and Nate gonna work on getting everything situated for you guys, music, graphics, and all that stuff, templates. But yeah, other than that, guys, I hope you have fun tonight. It was great. We started the first week already with the 70s. I hope you have fun going back in time with us to the funky era of the 70s. But yeah, it was fun. It was a great time tonight. I always like doing shows like this. It's just wacky and bonkers. But yeah, other than that,
And a
thank
good
you so
list.
much.
If there's any movies on this list you haven't seen,
Go see it.
watch it.
Yes, that's your homework. If you have not seen the 1 through 10 list, I know you guys seen the popular ones, but check out the ones that you have not seen. You might like it. You never know. Let us know. Give us a comment at Netflix Reviews, or if you're on Twitter at Levels of Geeks, tag us and let us know what you guys think for your first time watch on these old classic 70s movies. We want to know.
We got to give Jimmy a 4K because he guessed one right.
Did he?
I mean, not a 4K, a digital. Jimmy, do you want The Punisher in
Ooh,
4K?
The Punisher.
On digital? Do you want it? If you want it, I'll send it to you right now.
The
And go ahead,
Punisher.
Alex. You can. I'll let him answer me, and you can go ahead and thank everybody.
Yeah, I'm gonna thank everybody. All right, here we go. Kyle, I got one, right? Let me see. Pop Culture 33 is gonna report for no Rocky. Yeah, pretty much.
Nate-
Pop Culture is
he's
like
gonna-
straight up
he's gonna
Stallone
unsubscribe.
on us.
Yeah. All right,
He said sure. All right, Kyle. All right, so here we go. Kyle, thank you so much for joining on the podcast tonight. Thank you for the live stream. Robert makes the cut. Thank you so much. Jimmy, thank you so much for joining in. Jay, Manley, Stephanie. Who else we got? We got a Tony Movie Chappie. We got a lot of people today. Harrison was in the house. Tony. We got Charles Woods. We had Kevin Simmons. Oh man. I'm trying to figure out everybody. Oh, Ralph
Everybody's
was in the house. He was mad quiet. I don't know.
He
was
just said
pulling
hello
his
and then
toenails.
disappeared.
Yeah.
Even
he
though we
could've
talked
been-
about his favorite movie of all time, The Exorcist.
Yeah. Exorcist was on the list. He could have. Oh no, I missed
Mr.
it.
Horror and Coffee.
Mr. Horror. Aaron Henry was in the house. Thank you so much. Tri Burrow was in the house. Again,
Walker
thank
the
you so
Butcher was
much.
here for a little bit.
Oh, Wacker the Butcher was here also. My movie collection is all from Levels of Geeks. I have over 20 movies. You have to
You're
play
welcome.
the
Thanks for
80s
supporting.
music next week too. Everything is going to be music, and everything is going to feel like we're in that era. So again, we're going to hit you guys with some music.
You lose. Good day.
That's the remix.
Everyone signed? Yes. Good. On we go.
Oh shoot! DJ, he's DJing over there.
Everyone signed? Yes. Everyone signed?
Kal-El's still salty that he didn't win that Smallville code. That's Ralph.
Signed? Yes. Good. On we go.
That should be the outro. That's like a good outro music. Just a bunch of.
Whatever.
One random whatever.
Whatever.
Everyone signed? Yes.
He's in the zone. He can't stop.
DJ Altini.
DJ Altini.
You lose. Good day, sir.
Everyone signed?
Yeah, Cal. It's a what's that guy's name? Harvey Firestein or whatever. But it sounds like Ralph to me from Horror and Coffee.
Oh my god.
All right, no, I was DJ Altini was in the house. All right, so with that said, guys, look, next week we're gonna have all music again. We're going all up in the 80s. You know it. That's a little taste. We got a little Michael. We're not gonna be playing that. We can get copyright.
That's all you get, or else we get in trouble.
Yeah, we are. But with that, guys, thank you so much for joining in live. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys take the time and actually watch the movies we recommend on this list. Let us know again if you guys watched it at Twitter, Levels of Geeks, Nate. He
always pops up only when we say something about him.
Yeah, I know.
He hears his name. His ears catch on fire. And he shows back up.
on the desk, and he was like, "Wait a minute, you're talking about me." Will you be posting your list on Letterboxd? Oh, that's a good idea. I didn't even think of that. Yeah, I have a Levels of Geeks account.
Yeah,
I'll put it
not?
up on the Levels of Geeks.
Yeah.
Why not? I'll put this list that we put on the Letterboxd for you guys to check out. Again, Letterboxd is Levels of Geeks. If you guys have Letterboxd, I'll put it up tonight, the list. But yeah, hope you guys have fun. Hit those like buttons. If you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Like the video if you enjoy the first week of the decade battle. Again, guys, we're back. We're returning back Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern with the 80s. We're going back in time with the 80s. And of course, Nate, like always, I'm your host, Alex Figueroa, and that is
Nate from Netflix Reviews.
Be awesome to each other and geek out. Hey, before you go, please consider subscribing to the channel, hitting them like buttons if you enjoyed this live stream, and of course, hit those notification bells so live or video reviews drop, you guys will be notified. Till then, be awesome to